In the early 13th century, fear in the Islamic world did not come from armies or empires alone. It came from shadows. The order of assassins, known historically as the Nizari Ismailis, had perfected terror as a weapon. From their mountain fortresses in Persia and Syria, especially the legendary Alamut Castle, they controlled politics through fear, infiltration, and precision killing. Kings, generals, governors, and even crusader leaders slept, knowing a blade could appear at their throat at any moment. They did not wage war like conventional armies. They struck surgically, eliminating leaders and destabilizing entire regions without raising banners or marching troops. For nearly 2 centuries, the assassin order had survived crusaders, caliphates, and empires by being invisible, patient, and psychologically dominant. Their agents, trained from childhood, lived among their targets and were willing to die without hesitation. To the medieval world, they were untouchable until the Mongols arrived. The Mongols did not fear legends, secrecy, or terror. Under Genghis Khan and later his grandsons, the Mongol Empire expanded like a natural disaster, flattening everything in its path. When Mongol intelligence first encountered the assassins, it wasn't through rumor, it was through attempted murder. Assassin agents tried to eliminate Mongol leaders, believing fear would work as it always had. Instead, it sealed their fate. The Mongols responded to assassination not with restraint but with annihilation. They did not target individuals, they targeted existence itself. Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, was given a clear mission by the great Khan Mongke: eliminate all threats to Mongol authority in Persia. The assassins were not just a threat, they were an insult. Hulagu assembled one of the largest Mongol armies ever seen, complete with Chinese siege engineers, Persian auxiliaries, and devastating artillery. This was not going to be a war of shadows, it was going to be a public execution of a legend. As the Mongol armies advanced westward, fortress after fortress fell. Assassin strongholds that had resisted sieges for generations collapsed under Mongol engineering, discipline, and brutality. Psychological warfare came first. Towns that resisted were erased completely, their populations slaughtered, their names removed from maps. The message was clear: surrender or cease to exist. The assassins, masters of fear, now faced an enemy immune to it. Alamut, the heart of the assassin order, stood as a symbol of defiance and myth. Perched high in the mountains, it had never been taken by force. Its libraries contained centuries of knowledge, its walls guarded by fanatics who believed death was obedience. When the Mongols arrived in 1256, the world watched to see if the impossible could finally fall. Hulagu Khan did not rush. He encircled the region, cutting off supply lines, isolating the fortresses, and applying relentless pressure. Unlike other invaders, the Mongols did not underestimate the assassins. They studied them. They identified weaknesses, exploited internal divisions, and used overwhelming force where subtlety failed. The assassin leader, Rukn al-Din Kursha, realized too late that assassination and negotiation meant nothing to an empire that preferred extinction over compromise. Mongol siege engines battered Alamut and its sister fortresses day after day, hurling stones, fire, and terror into walls once thought invincible. When resistance weakened, surrender followed, not as mercy, but as humiliation. Hulagu accepted surrender only to demonstrate Mongol supremacy. Assassin leaders were stripped of authority, fortresses dismantled stone by stone, and garrisons executed or absorbed. Then came the true destruction. The Mongols systematically destroyed assassin infrastructure, libraries burned, archives erased, training centers demolished. The ideological heart of the order was ripped out deliberately. This was not conquest, it was erasure. The Mongols understood that the assassins survived on myth and memory, so they destroyed both. Survivors were hunted down, scattered, or forced into obscurity. Assassin agents who once walked confidently into courts now lived as fugitives, their networks shattered beyond repair. Even in Syria, where remnants of the order still operated, the Mongol shadow changed everything. Former allies abandoned them. Fear no longer protected them, it isolated them. Where once a single assassin could silence a king, now entire assassin communities vanished without a trace. Mongol brutality was not random, it was methodical. Every fortress taken was followed by a demonstration of absolute dominance. Heads were piled into towers, entire valleys were cleared, the assassins, who once ruled through selective violence, were crushed by total war. For the first time in their history, assassination failed as a strategy. The Mongols proved something terrifying to the medieval world. There exists a level of power that cannot be intimidated, infiltrated, or threatened. Against such power, secrecy is useless, loyalty is meaningless, survival itself becomes optional. By the time the Mongol campaign ended, the Order of Assassins no longer existed as a political force. What survived were fragments, stories, myths, distorted legends whispered by historians and travelers. The real organization, the one that had terrified empires, was gone forever. The Mongols did not merely defeat them, they redefined warfare in a way the assassins could not adapt to. The assassin order thrived in a world of divided powers, slow communication, and personal rule. The Mongols created a world of centralized terror, rapid response, and overwhelming force. There was no leader important enough to kill, no city valuable enough to protect, no negotiation worth considering. Everything was expendable. This was the fundamental mismatch that doomed the assassins. Their greatest strength, precision, meant nothing against an empire that treated entire populations as replaceable. After Alamut, history moved on brutally fast. The Mongols continued west, destroying Baghdad, ending the Abbasid Caliphate and reshaping the Islamic world forever. Compared to that devastation, the fall of the assassins became just one chapter in a much larger catastrophe. Yet its symbolism endured. The annihilation of the world's deadliest assassin order marked the death of an era where shadows ruled power. It proved that fear can be overwhelmed, myths can be burned, and secrecy can be crushed under raw force. In modern culture, the assassins live on as romantic figures, stealthy warriors, hidden masters, but the truth is far darker. They were undone not by betrayal or decline, but by an enemy that refused to play their game. The Mongols did not fear death, did not fear assassination, and did not fear legacy. They feared only resistance, and they eliminated it completely. The destruction of the assassin order stands as one of history's most brutal reminders that no system of power, no matter how sophisticated, survives contact with absolute force. When the Mongols came, even legends bled, and some, like the assassins, were wiped from the world entirely.